Welcome back to the Chaos Sorcerers. If you thought the Shibuya Incident was the most traumatic thing Jujutsu Kaisen could put us through, Season 3 is here to hold your juice and demonstrate exactly how wrong you were.
You imposter!
The Culling Game arc is a brutal, sprawling battle royale that reshuffles the entire cast, raises the emotional stakes to unbearable heights, and delivers some of the most jaw-dropping character moments in the entire series. We're talking fake deaths, clan massacres, courtroom domain expansions, and a comedian who might genuinely be unkillable. Buckle up. Following the events of the Shibuya Incident, Tokyo has become infested with curses. Yuji Itadori and Choso exorcise them, which also serves as further training for the two. Naobito Zen'in succumbs to his wounds, and his will is read out to his brother Ogi, Maki's and Mai's father, his nephew Junichi, and his arrogant, misogynistic son Naoya. Naoya is set to be the Zen'in clan's new head, but the will stipulates that due to an arrangement by Toji Fushiguro, if Satoru Gojo is out of commission, Megumi Fushiguro will succeed him instead. Naoya heads to Tokyo to use Yuji to lure Megumi to him so he can kill them both. Having inherited Naobito's technique, Naoya overwhelms Yuji and Choso with his speed. Yuta Okotsu then arrives, and the three immediately acknowledge his immense strength. When Naoya offers to let Yuta kill Yuji in exchange for his silence, Yuji flees and Choso battles Naoya. Yuji and Yuta clash, but the latter proves to be too powerful. Just as Yuji manages to break Yuta's katana, he is caught by his Shikigami Rika, allowing Yuta to stab him in the heart. Choso struggles against Naoya, but by flooding the underpass they are in with his blood, he emerges victorious. Yuta defeats Choso and heals Naoya in exchange for confirming Yuji's execution. Yuji sees a memory of his grandfather's conversation with his father Jin, being distrustful of his mother Kaori, who bears stitches on her forehead. Yuta reveals he faked Yuji's death after being tasked by Gojo with protecting him, being sympathetic to Yuji after his own experiences. Megumi appears to ask for his help, but Yuji refuses out of fear of Sukuna's continual threat. Megumi reveals his stepsister Tsumiki will be forced to participate in Pseudo Geto's Culling Game, a battle royale of Jujutsu sorcerers awakened after the Shibuya Incident. Yuji agrees to help, but tells Yuta to kill him if Sukuna emerges again. Knowing they must free Gojo, they head to Jujutsu High and meet up with Yuki Tsukumo and Maki. Using Choso's connection to the death paintings as a guide, they enter the school's specialized underground chamber to consult immortal Jujutsu sorcerer Master Tengen. Tengen explains that the host in Suguru Geto's body is Kenjaku, and that the Culling Game's purpose is to gather enough cursed energy to force evolution throughout all mankind in Japan by assimilating with the omnipresent Tengen, destroying the world. His previous attempts failed due to a Six Eyes user's presence and Tengen's assimilation with a star plasma vessel, but between Toji's killing of Riko Amanai, Kenjaku acquiring Geto's body, and Gojo's sealing in the prison realm, his plan can now be completed. The sorcerers learn that the Culling Game will not end until every player is killed. However, they are allowed the creation of new rules, which they will use to free players. Tengen reveals they possess the back of the prison realm, and that one of the players, the angel Hanakurasu, has a cursed technique capable of opening it. The group enact their plan. Choso and Yuki stay behind to protect Tengen. Maki will raid the Zen'in clan vault for cursed tools, Yuta will investigate a game colony, and Yuji and Megumi will recruit Kinji Hikari, a third year suspended from Jujutsu High. Meanwhile, Fumihiko Takaba, a comedian lamenting his failed career, is unknowingly a player. Maki returns to the Zen'in clan to find that Ogi has emptied the vault and wounded Mai. He defeats her and leaves the twins to be devoured by curses. When Mai resuscitates Maki, she dreams they are on a beach. Knowing she will always keep Maki from reaching her potential as she lives, Mai sacrifices herself by creating a replica of Toji's katana, asking her to destroy the clan. With her heavenly restriction now as powerful as Toji's, Maki exorcises the curses and kills her father. The clan's fighting unit and elite sorcerers are sent, but she effortlessly massacres them. Maki is finally confronted by Naoya and they engage in a destructive battle. Naoya seemingly overwhelms her with his projection technique, but as he attempts to deliver a blow at his maximum speed, Maki reveals her speed has transcended beyond his projections, brutally defeating him. She finds her mother, slices her throat for doing nothing to stop the plot, and leaves Mai's body with Momo to finish off the clan. Naoya attempts to find Maki, but her mother stabs him with a knife in her last moments, admitting she is proud of the twins. Principal Yaga is revealed to secretly hold power considerable for special grade, as he can create an army of autonomous cursed corpses like Panda or Takeru, Kusakabe's nephew, whose soul he resurrected in a cursed corpse. Following the Shibuya Incident, his execution is carried out by Gakuganji, despairing Panda, who escaped custody with Kusakabe's help. Yuji and Megumi sign up for an illegal fight club for sorcerers, hosted by Hikari and fellow expelled third-year student from Jujutsu High, Kirara Hoshi. In a mock match against Panda, Yuji impresses Hikari enough to get invited into his private security room. Panda advises them against revealing they're from Jujutsu High. Hikari wants to invite Yuji to be his champion and get rich together once his fight clubs are officially recognized by the higher-ups. But Yuji gives himself away, causing a standoff with Hikari. Megumi and Panda infiltrate the compound when they are spotted by Kirara, who warns Hikari. Megumi attempts to convince Kirara to help them, but they refuse on account of Jujutsu High's conservative board and don't believe that Gojo has been sealed. Kirara uses their curse technique, which appropriates the Southern Cross, allowing them to repel Megumi and Panda away from themselves and Hikari's door. Megumi eventually deduces the technique's function and uses his 10 shadows to defeat Kirara. He once again asks for their assistance, just as Hikari and Yuji bust onto the roof. Yuji endures several unguarded punches from Hikari, declaring himself as a cog in Jujutsu society for the purpose of exorcising curses and willing to do anything to accomplish it. Seeing his firm resolve convinces Hikari to assist them. A Kogani then appears to inform the sorcerers of a new rule added to the Culling Game, allowing all players to view each other's status. The player who created the rule, a reincarnated sorcerer named Hajime Kashimo, voices his frustration at being unable to find strong opponents, desiring to fight Sukuna. After Panda informs the group of Yaga's death, Hikari agrees to help in order to use Megumi's position as the Zen'in clan head for his own benefit. Yuji's Kogani appears, revealing that he is already identified as a player, which he suspects is because of Sukuna. They use the Kogani to look for players that possess enough points to add new rules to allow the ability to trade points and leave the Culling Game. Alongside Kashimo, they learn the other player with enough points is a man named Hiromi Higuruma. Hikari and Panda decide to enter the Tokyo No. 2 colony to find Kashimo and Angel, who is supposedly also there, while Yuji and Megumi head to the Tokyo No. 1 colony to find Higuruma. They enter the colony, but are immediately separated across the city. After fighting several sorcerers, Yuji meets an old classmate, Amai, who tells him where to find Higuruma. Simultaneously, Megumi encounters a woman, Remi, who also tells him where Higuruma is. However, Amai and Remi give them different locations. Higuruma is a public defender who grew disillusioned with Japan's judicial system and his clients decrying him when he is unable to achieve favorable outcomes. When his emotional state breaks after his latest client is unfairly sentenced, Higuruma's curse technique awakens, releasing an ominous shikigami as he declares a retrial in the court. In the present, Amai takes Yuji to the Tokyo Metropolitan Theater in Ikebukuro, where Higuruma is stationed, while Remy lures Megumi to an apartment block in Shinjuku to meet a reincarnated sorcerer, Reggie Star. Reggie is interested in Megumi and suggests working together, revealing his theories on the true purpose of the Culling Game. Seeing as how the weakest players have already been culled, Reggie posits that Kenjaku has plans to drop a bomb on the remaining sorcerers. Yuji asks Higuruma to use his points to help end the Culling Game, but he refuses, believing the game's rules are more just than society's way of administering justice. When Yuji challenges him, Higuruma activates his courtroom-themed domain expansion. Meanwhile, at an unknown location, Kenjaku meets with several men in a boardroom after receiving their invitation. Inside Higuruma's domain, a target is trialed for a crime they've committed, with his Shikigami, Judgment, overseeing the case. Yuji is charged with entering a pachinko parlor while underage. When he claims he was merely using the bathroom, evidence provided reveals his intentions to gamble. Judgment declares Yuji guilty and confiscates his cursed energy, allowing Higuruma to overwhelm him with his exceptional sorcerer abilities. Before he can be killed, Yuji demands a retrial, and they return to the domain. He is then charged for the mass murder in Shibuya, which Yuji confesses to, sentencing him to death. Higuruma is granted a sword to execute him, but becomes shaken by Yuji's admission of guilt, aware that Sukuna was truly responsible. Recalling when he refused a promotion to become a judge, Higuruma releases his technique on the basis that he is innocent. After they talk about their shared experiences in guilt over killing, Higuruma uses his points to add a rule allowing Culling Game players to transfer points to one other. He gives 1 point to Yuji and leaves, intending to turn himself in for those he killed when the game ends. Megumi is attacked by Reggie, Remy, and 2 more of Reggie's underlings, reluctantly saving Remy from an explosion caused by one of the underlings, Hazanoki. After Kogani informs the players of Yuji and Higuruma's new rule addition, Megumi kills Reggie's second underling, after which he is cornered by Reggie and Hazanoki. Suddenly, Takaba appears, stating he will help Megumi to make it an even fight. The 3 other sorcerers are completely befuddled by Takaba's nonsensical comedy routine, but when he demonstrates a great prowess with cursed energy, Megumi accepts his help, letting him handle Hazanoki while he fights Reggie. The 2 fight across the colony, with Reggie using his cursed technique to manifest an endless amount of objects from the receipts attached to him. Megumi lures Reggie into a gymnasium, the latter seemingly getting the drop on him by overwhelming him with objects, but Megumi shocks Reggie by activating his domain expansion, using the gym to help complete it. Cornered inside Megumi's incomplete domain, Reggie retaliates by summoning cars and a house in an attempt to crush him. However, Megumi undoes the domain, and the weight of Reggie's summoned objects destroys the gym's floor, causing both to fall into the pool below. With Reggie's receipts now unusable, Megumi uses his divine dog to mortally wound him. Reggie commends his strength, before revealing he does not know either Kenjaku or Tengen enough to answer about the Culling Game's true purpose. Before dying, he gives all of his points to Megumi. Hazanoki's Kogane informs him of Reggie's death, prompting him to leave. Megumi attempts to kill the defenseless Remy, but Tsumiki's words stop him, and he collapses from his wounds, just as Angel lowers down upon him. Elsewhere, in the Sendai Colony, Yuta disrupts a 4-way deadlock between its strongest players, Takako Uro, Ryu Ishigori, the special-grade cursed spirit Kurorushi, and foreign sorcerer Dhruv Lakdawala, by killing the latter. Yuta uses Rika to protect a group of civilians caught in the colony, while he engages Kurorushi. After he exorcises the cursed spirit with his reverse cursed technique, Uro suddenly attacks, her technique allowing her to physically manipulate the fabric of space around her. As they fight, Yuta inadvertently enrages her in an attempt to understand her purpose following her reincarnation. Ishigori fends off Uro with his discharge technique, firing powerful blasts of cursed energy. Hoping Yuta will satisfy his hunger for battle, they engage in a fierce fight. When Uro reappears, Yuta summons Rika to battle her and use her cursed energy. The confrontation reaches a stalemate, leading them to enter a three-way domain expansion, but it is disrupted by a nascent second incarnation of Kururushi. After Ishigori defeats Uro and Yuta exercises Kururushi again, the two face off once more. Using his own technique, Copy, Yuta defeats Ishigori by weakening him with Uro's technique before blasting him with his own redirected attack. After Yuta heals the two, they give him their points, though Uro warns Yuta of a coming calamity.